Welcome to May Malaise Episode 1. Our first match is going to be Isabelle against Falco. Alright, looks like we're going to be on Kalos Pokemon Stadium. So, May Malaise, for anybody who's by chance new, it's a lot more chill than the normal tournament season. The stage selection actually is brought back to the preseason, where it has a lot bigger stage pools in it. Obviously, this time we got one that's in the normal stage selection, so you're just going to have to trust me until you find another match. Something else to know is that this is probably, I believe, the biggest May Malaise yet, and that it's effectively another whole tournament. We have almost just enough amiibo to make it that everyone who didn't make it in to the actual tournament, and everybody who didn't win a round in the tournament, basically get to compete. And at the end, we will be seeing the 4 worst amiibo. We will still be having a grand, well, I can't call him a champion, I guess the grand loser. But the 4 worst amiibo will be retrained for next year. Any amiibo types that they have will be reset to neutral, and they'll basically just get the works, trying to make them better. Alright, looks like they're dancing around. Isabelle isn't really pursuing with her projectiles, and that's a taunt out of Falco. That's something we always try to knock out of the amiibo. We've gotten, well, I've gotten better at it, but I don't have a perfect solution for knocking it out of amiibo who have it. I do retrain them a lot more to try to reduce the odds, and it does work, but it never brings it to 0. My next leading theory is that the different stats that spirits give amiibo are starting to be, well, calculated by people online. So ideally we can find the right array of spirits that, without messing up their stats, will stop them from taunting. Isabelle goes for a very ambitious fishing rod, does not land it. Falco finally getting another hit. One of the quirks about the losers tournament is that it gets longer as it goes on, and by that I mean every single match takes longer. Since the amiibos who make it to the losers round are usually less efficient at killing, and the farther you go into the tournament you get more and more amiibo who have a hard time finishing out a round. Isabelle finally getting the first kill. It only took just under 3 minutes, so that's something to look forward to. Falco's up air still didn't kill Isabelle. He needs to land like any other move. Like a forward smash, that'll do it. See, the amiibo just landed in up air and then they both disengaged. Normally it's harder to tell when you're up against a human. When they're up against a human player, just because human patience is usually a lot less than that of the amiibo. Alright, Isabelle landed a forward air and then just kind of camped out on the platform. Falco's up smash wasn't even... it didn't even have enough range to hit Isabelle on the platform there. Now Isabelle with the tech roll in. And now with the tech roll out, even though Falco is nowhere near. He really needs to be following up on those situations. They retreat to opposite ends of the stage. They made the middle end of smash attacks. It's landed. Yeah, they're just both not killing. It's probably not in Falco's favor in that Kalos, it looks like it has a higher roof than a lot of the tournament viable stages. So a lot of his moves are killing just a little bit later than they normally would. If Isabelle died at about 140 to an up smash. A lot of characters on a lot of stages you can die at like 110, 120. And another taunt out of Falco. Falco gets sent away. He is able to make it back. Falco's up special recovery goes less distance than Fox's. Falco and Fox essentially have the trade-off of they both can recover the same distance, But Falco's jump is bigger, and Fox's recovery is bigger. So that's how they balance out. Up air, not a second up air, unable to kill for Falco. A slingshot by the side is able to knock Falco off the side of the stage. If Falco does make it to the final four, then his grab typing will be reset to neutral, which is the eventual goal of doing this so many times. Oh, Falco actually made that back. A lot of the amiibo have been set to neutral, and Falco got the first kill with a back air off stage. That means he's out of the loser's bracket, but Isabelle's gonna have to keep fighting, because, you know, that's how losing works. Alright, and for this match, we're gonna have Palutena against Ridley. Oh, yep, here we go. If you watched the first match, then I wasn't lying. Here's New Donk City. Actually, a surprisingly faithful rendition of how it appears in Mario Odyssey. Alright, Ridley lands a jab and actually pursues. Up smash is big enough to hit the platform. Palutena spot dodged, putting her in enough lag for the charge time of the up smash to kill her immediately. Not a great start for Palutena. So Ridley's he's effectively a heavyweight. He's not as heavy as a lot of characters you'd think of as heavyweight, but stuff like his frame data and stuff matches all the other heavyweight archetypes, like his size and the damage he deals and stuff like that. So he's effectively a heavyweight, but he's a little bit lighter. And he used the up special to land directly down onto the platform. How peculiar. Palutena goes to the down throw, but actually gets the combo off of it. When you're at the side of the stage, you have to watch out against Palutena because she has a back throw that can and will kill you. There it is, and it doesn't kill Ridley. Wasn't close enough to the side. Palutena's up air also kills, but it was so low it didn't kill Ridley again. And that one did kill Ridley. He couldn't have teched that. If you notice there, when you bounce off of a wall, there's a little special effect that plays. And if you see the extra large red effect, that means it's untechable. It's actually a pretty nice design choice because it means that you can't just tech off of a whole bunch of walls and become immortal. If you get hit by enough damage, you will bounce off of multiple walls while being unable to do anything about it. Kind of in the spirit of the game, you get hit and you're not, you know, risk-free. Alright, they retreated from the platform. Probably good for Palutena just because she's more liable to die randomly. Unable to hit Ridley with the explosives flame, though. I feel like both characters didn't know the range of their moves. Ridley got footstool, but Ridley has a great recovery, so he's able to make that back. Chaining Palutena by the side of the stage. Rapid jab is going to do it. Ridley gets a quick kill. And he's a dragon. And in this corner we have Fox against Hero. Two characters with a total of 7 letters in their name. Guess that's just how Smash Brothers is. Fox teched that, and he wasn't able to recover on the other side of the platform. That was an incredibly quick kill, even if it was very clearly unintentional. Great tech by Fox, actually. He was able to use his fast fall speed to actually hit Hero back before, well, he could really respond. Hero recovers low, he's able to make it back. Fox is doing a good job of kind of beating the crap out of Hero, but he's a stock behind, so he has to just to maintain even. The side platform over there is not moving. This is the hazards off version. From a casual perspective, hazards really just make the game more fun. However, from a tournament perspective, oh, Fox made it back this time. From a tournament perspective, it doesn't particularly work out. Especially, you know, since everybody's invested in all these characters, it would be a shame if your character got knocked out because the stage killed them. Here goes low. Fox, for some reason, tries to edge guard. Not a particularly advisable position for the fastest falling character in the game. He can really only throw out one move, and then he has to recover back. Hero gets sent really low. He goes just a little bit too high, actually. Fox is able to punish that. Fox recovers on the stage, goes at an angle at that time, so he was able to grab the ledge. And he does get a kill off of Hero, only putting him 45% behind. If he can do that twice more, then he wins. Funny little dash dance there. That is something that CPU does a lot that I've noticed. Wow, I can't believe Hero didn't get hit by that. He must have clashed with it. Great up air from Fox. I'm surprised it hit, but obviously it did. Air dodges to the ledge he was currently on the wrong side of. That's usually pretty risky because if you miss your air dodge, there's a certain distance your character goes before they're allowed to un-air dodge. It's actually pretty interesting because I'm pretty sure that internally in the game it's calculated based off of time, but the time is set so that every character has the same distance that they fall. Which is really interesting. I would expect that they'd... Oh, wow. Hero parried that? Okay, so Fox is down B. People often call it the Shine because in competitive melee it is the best move in the game. So it's not, you know, nearly as overwhelming in Smash Ultimate. However, it is still fast. So parrying it, I don't think you actually have enough time to react even if your shield's already out. So I guess it must have been an accident, but you can always claim that you tried to do it on purpose and just try to make yourself look cooler that way. Making it back to the ledge. Hero got up and did nothing. He got kicked in the head for it. Great tech from Fox, keeps him in the fight a little bit faster. Now, Hero's aerials aren't bad. However, they do take time to come out, so they're kind of hard to hit. They do hit hard and they regain his magic meter, but it can be a little bit hard to hit airborne opponents. It's actually, I find it the most annoying when you're using Acceleratl, just because the whole thing with Acceleratl is that you can move really fast. So you're probably jumping at your opponent, but your aerials take so long to come out you don't really get to use them. Fox wins, that saves his hide. Alright, we have Dark Pit against Lucas. It is Dark Pit, I assure you. Of course, I went with the confusing skin just in case it gives a slight advantage against human players. Dark Pit coming out with a pretty good sizable combo at first, already dealing 56% in under 10 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Now, both of these characters, well, okay, I'm just going to say it. We're probably going to have some sort of off-stage shenanigans. That being said, this stage has a pretty... Alright, Lucas, I guess, just didn't want to recover there. That's weird. So the thing about this stage is that the amiibo really like to play on the rock. And the rock, compared to a lot of other places, the bottom blast zone is just higher up than most other off-stage places you'll normally find yourself in. So you often get amiibo who do something stupid, barely don't grab the ledge, and even though they have a high enough recovery, they will die off the bottom. Granted, we've already seen Lucas die once this game. Honestly, the amiibo are performing pretty well on this non-traditional platform arrangement. And they've gone to the rock. Usually whenever they go to the rock, someone dies. Lucas air dodged, and they both fell off the bottom. Alright, I'm going to count that as offstage shenanigans, but I'm not going to count on there not being any others. Down pitch just landed down throw to up smash. I didn't think you could do that. It might have been that Ness didn't... I mean, not Ness, Lucas. That Lucas didn't, like, air dodge or something in time. Which is always a risk about human players, is that, yes, you can air dodge out of every single combo, but if you do, your opponent's eventually just going to start throwing out delayed smash attacks, and they're going to hit you with at least one of them. Lucas absorbs the arrow. That actually healed quite a lot. Dark Pit's arrows are stronger than normal Pit's. Alright, Dark Pit lost his AI for a little bit on that platform. Lucas's forward throw. Lucas doesn't have as strong as Throws' Ness. Kind of to make up for a lot of his other things being better in some way. Although, ironically, in Smash Ultimate, Ness is usually a little bit better of a character than Lucas. Since they have such similar traits, they kind of always get pitted up against each other as for who's who and who's better. Down tilt to forward smash. That I don't think that normally works, but again, maybe the opponent like didn't air dodge or something. Or didn't shield. Dark Pit goes really low. He flies to the rock, believe it or not. Lucas gets sent out. PK Thunder. Dark Pit tried to cheese in with the down special, but it didn't quite work. So both characters throwing out a whole bunch of spikes. They're not quite landing. Lucas down smash at the ledge, which on the rock is anywhere. But the down smash is pretty good at hitting people trying to grab the ledge. Playing off stage again. Lucas goes for the rock. I can't believe Rope Snake can go that long. Jab at the edge is not going to kill Lucas. Air dodges. Goes really low. He gets the angle just right. He actually bounced off the rock, too. Air dodges again. Grabs the ledge. Alright, looks like that's going to set them both back on the normal stage. Dark Pit goes way too high. Electroshocks. He's able to recover, actually. Doesn't grab the ledge. He's actually not able to recover. He overshot the rock. That's why you don't use your side special in the air. If you're Dark Pit. And in this corner, we have Min Min against Sora. Alright, so this match is gonna have some problems. First of all, Sora is a character who very much stays in the air, very floaty, very low fall speed. Min Min's biggest weakness is usually people jumping over her arms. She can still jump and use a forward air to get people who aren't on the ground. However, Min Min can stay off the ground. I mean, not Min Min. Sora can stay off the ground for basically as long as he feels like. Additionally, we are in Picto Chat, which is wide, flat, and has a high upper blast zone. Which, I don't know who that would benefit. It basically just gives Sora a lot more room to be in the air. But without platforms, it does also slightly benefit Min Min. But I guess I'd say less. And looking at it, the stage is wide, but not extremely wide. It's probably just a little bit wider than Battlefield. And Min Min is a character who wants the stage to be as wide as possible. Now, the bottom blast zone is pretty high up, so Sora's amazing recovery isn't going to help him as much here. In fact, the side blast zones are a little closer than you'd expect, even though they're probably about the standard width, just compared to the platform itself. So Sora's recovery really isn't going to be a fantastic asset. He down airs past the ledge. That almost killed him. Oh, down smash near the ledge is going to hit Min Min. So Sora's down smash is a really mean move. You really got to watch out for it. So he jumps, which when Smash Ultimate first came out, all of the jumping down smashes that like King K. Rool, Ridley, and Incineroar had, everyone hated those. But Sora has that, and the hitbox on the down smash is quite honestly huge. It's probably his best instance of DLC privilege. Actually, I take that back. His down special counter probably is... But his down smash is still a kind of DLC move. It just hits a little too far on both sides. That being said, surprisingly enough for Ultimate, Sora being the last character introduced, he really wasn't the most broken DLC character to be added. That might be a little bit just because of the frame of reference changing over time, but Sora really didn't have that many problems. If anything, it's just that he has a weird thing he can do with his forward and neutral air, but if they ever patch the game again, that'll be really easy to fix. Because it's really just like one and or two moves that you just have to change for that. Meanwhile, characters like Kazuya and Steve, who are just a little too strong, that's a lot harder to change because you can't just nerf their best move into the ground. They still have a whole bunch of other good moves, too. So you'd have to kind of slightly reduce some of the effectiveness of some of those. Oh, wow, Min Min fell out of the up special, able to hit Sora first. They both just went super high. Min Min is at 50% more than Sora, and she still hasn't gotten her first kill. She does have the Megawatt arm out, so that should do it if she can get to land. Oh, Sora goes that high up to catch Min Min. It worked. And Min Min jumped out of her shield for the third hit, meaning she got hit by Sora's side special. The bane of online players. Hits 3 times and it homes. What can you do? Min Min goes high, successfully air dodges, and then gets caught by the down air of all moves. That's not going to kill Min Min. She did use her jump. And that is going to kill Min Min. Alright, that match went extremely well for Sora. Alright, looks like we've started a random encounter between 2 Pokemon. Pikachu and Ivysaur. And we're going to be on Jungle Japes again. I might be confusing this name with another stage, also called Jungle Japes. So anyways, they're playing super low. Alright, Ivysaur's able to make it back as Charizard. So Ivysaur was our first tournament winner. Also our second tournament winner, so that was weird. So it's kind of weird to see him fall this far. Pikachu, on the other hand, usually makes it into May Malaise. I believe Pikachu has actually been retrained at least once. Oh, the Thunder Jolt went all the way around the platform, hitting Squirtle as Ivysaur. Ivysaur as Squirtle on the comeback. One use of Quick Attack. Probably worked out pretty well for Pikachu there. Playing off stage, Squirtle with a very risky side B. You can't just grab the ledge with that move. So if you hit a wall, you die. Squirtle made that back. Still playing by the ledge. Pikachu really enjoying his neutral air. Sounds like we're listening to what is honestly my favorite version of the ship deck theme. Not to say that the new version is bad, it was effectively made for King K. Rool's reveal trailer. And it definitely goes hard, I'll tell you that. But I feel like this version is slightly more in the original theme of the original, where it starts out all whimsical and jaunty, and then at the end it becomes a rock concert. And then because, you know, it's a looping soundtrack, it goes back to the beginning. Alright, Ivysaur surprisingly dying first. Pikachu seems to have learned from the School of Hard Knocks. Squirtle making it back. Playing on the main platform. Probably a wise decision for both of them. And then Ivysaur retreats back to the rock. Switching to Charizard, the Pokemon Switch is essentially a free air dodge. It lasts about the same, except that the Pokemon Switch actually comes out frame 1 instead of, I believe most air dodges come out frame 3. There are some exceptions, you know, in typical Smash Brothers fashion. Grounded Spike from Charizard. Getting Pikachu near the end of the stage. No, Pikachu hits one forward air. One or two more could have, you know, comboed to death. Air dodge to the ledge, very high up special recovery. Actually not able to escape the end lag before getting punished by Pikachu. Charizard playing around on this rock. He's finally left the rock. Alright, we can have a maybe normal game. Down throw. Okay, so up throw probably would have been better because of the blast zone and being on such a high platform, there's a chance it could have killed. Alright, I guess the up air did kill. And retreating back to the rock. It always goes back to the rock. Pikachu does make that back. You always gotta wonder with the amiibo. Starts a combo. Continues it off the stage, but not successfully. Squirtle with a very risky withdraw again. Ironically, Squirtle, despite being based off of a turtle, is actually one of the most nimble characters in the game. Pikachu doesn't make that back. Pikachu is now behind. After such an ahead early game. Ivysaur retreats to the rock. Doesn't use an up smash or something on Pikachu. That would have been prime opportunity. They get sent off stage. Charizard recovers successfully. Pikachu has a really great recovery. Doesn't have a problem making it back. This is the hazardless version, so there isn't going to be a barrel down there. Actually does give you a better view of the rainbow. And I will say, compared to when this stage was first introduced into the Smash Bros. Games, it looks so good in this version. Playing super low, both characters actually make it back. Squirtle getting use out of his wall cling, of all things, on the side of the rock. Squirtle gets sent up, but not to death. Back here near the edge is going to kill Pikachu. Ivysaur isn't washed up yet. Well, maybe he's washed up, but he's not bottom of the pack yet. Pikachu, maybe. We'll see. And here we have Toon Link against Ken. Looks like we're back on Spiral Mountain. A lot of clips have happened here. Not that I'm normally, like, picking out clips. If anything, I figure one day I'll just get people to vote on their favorite ones. I mean, I figure there's enough tournament content as is, and if I ever needed more, I can just record whenever. I'm not really struggling for trying to find stuff to show people. Also, going through all the footage I've ever made trying to look for highlights would take just so long. Toon Link dropping a bomb as he fell, able to catch Ken. And he totally whiffs that grab. Ken didn't grab the ledge fast enough. Toon Link was actually able to get him with his recovery. Alright, Toon Link suddenly forgot how to hit his opponent, and there's the taunt. Toon Link is one of the older amiibo trained. You could actually tell that he still has a spirit type, which was something I started doing and then realized that it wasn't that great of an extra effect. The idea was that in the original tournaments, that you could check to see which amiibo had an advantage, and that would make them more likely to win. Ultimately, though, it affected less than you'd think, even though it did also affect so many matches. If anything, it was also a good idea to get rid of just so that people couldn't predict, you know, like half of all the matches just based off of spirit type. Toon Link really loving these bombs. So Toon Link compared to Young Link, Toon Link's bombs last a little bit longer before they explode. It kind of means they have slightly different uses. Mostly in that Toon Link is at any moment more likely to just have a bomb in his hand. Young Link can use them, and I think they combo a little bit better just based off of how his character works. But he really does have to commit to using them in a certain time span. Toon Link hitting himself with his own bomb. Okay, so Ken comboed a side B out of his neutral air, but he did it the wrong way, so that just sent him off stage, and then he lost his side special, the Tatsumaki kick, which I believe translates to like hurricane kick, possibly tornado kick. I don't know which spiral, wind, cyclone, weather disaster translates to, but it's one of them. Ken actually got a cancel there with one of his special command inputs. So the special moves have command inputs, but Ken has a couple extra command inputs that aren't like the special B moves. But if he does do the input, he does get an extra move. They're useful, but not like a requirement, which is probably good for a game like Smash Brothers. Especially since something that a lot of fighting games suffer from is that since it's so hard to just use most of your moves, a lot of casual people just don't get into them. I mean, it makes sense. Why would you join a game if you can't do the cool things and you need to study for like 10 hours first to start doing a couple of the cool things? So in Smash Brothers, you just press direction and special. You get a final smash, you just press B. And you get the special move. It's great. Playing around in the corner, and Ken gets the first hit. In a while, I mean. Ken actually kind of got saved by Toon Link grabbing the ledge there. The final hit of the up special is, of course, the launching hitbox. And there's a good chance Ken could have got launched off the wall into the abyss. He canceled the down special there. That's actually a pretty great move. Sorry, canceling it in that situation is a really great thing to have done. Down special itself it's a fine move. It kind of ends up working like a counter, since what it does is it can negate one hit of knockback, and if you hit someone with it, you can get a pretty good stun, which, as a Street Fighter character, you have a couple of combos you can do out of it that will kill, or especially in Ken's case, because he has even more combos than Ryu, you can deal damage in a couple of various ways. But then it does go back to the core of Smash Brothers, being that even if you don't know the perfect combo for every situation, you can always just hit him with a smash attack and deal pretty good damage. Toon Link finally getting hit by his own bomb for holding it too long. He did actually get it knocked out of his hands at the last second, but when the bomb starts flashing red, that's the visual indicator for it's time that you should drop this thing. Ken landed a jab but didn't get any follow-up. It can be hard with some of the Street Fighter characters, because you have to know the command inputs and you have to go for it. And if you get it wrong in any way, you throw out a different move you weren't expecting to, and in Smash Brothers that can get you punished. Ken has actually, surprisingly, basically made it back at this point. Both characters within kill range with the right move, usually smash attacks at this range. Ken air dodges past the ledge. He is able to get back on the stage, though. Toon Link holding the bomb until it explodes in his hand again. I really would expect the Amiibo AI to know better than that. Ken makes it back. His Shoryuken recovery does actually hit people standing on the ledge trying to wait for him, so you do have to shield that. Toon Link didn't. Air dodging towards the lower ledge. I wouldn't have thought to have done that. Down air, not enough to kill Ken. The stage has a little bit of a higher blast zone. Although Toon Link did die off of it, so take that as you will. And for our last match of the episode, we have Corrin against Simon. Now, don't get confused, this is Corrin the first, not Corrin the second. Corrin the second was the one who made it almost all the way through the tournament, making it to, I think, the quarterfinals. It was pretty late. Corrin the second got a lot of victories. This is not that Corrin. This is Corrin the first, the one that has been in, not all, I don't think, but most of the previous tournaments. It's been a lot, is all I remember. It's weird how, as time passes by, you start to remember less and less that you thought you'd never forget. Getting a footstool off of Simon didn't really accomplish much. Maybe, you know, it'll intimidate your opponent. Simon gets sent off stage, not a great place for Simon to be. Especially because his airspeed is so poor, combined with, you know, his fall speed and all those associated stats. He usually has to grab the ledge with his forward air. Although something to know about the Amiibo is that they will often go for grabbing the ledge with their up air. Oh, poor taunt from Corrin there. So the thing about Simon's up air is that it covers basically the same distance as his up special. So, oh, that was a really bad ledge grab, just put into Corrin's range. But Corrin taunted again, so... Alright, they have suddenly struggled to hit each other. Corrin finally landed a jab. And another taunt. Air dodges the forward smash. Too slow to avoid the sights. tilt, though. Alright, Simon takes the first death to a taunting amiibo. He would do the tournament series a great kindness if he can not lose this. That way Corrin will have a chance of getting retrained. And, you know, when they get retrained, we can taunt out of them. I don't normally retrain amiibo who don't make it into the bottom 4. There was one exception, I believe Duck Hunt one year. For some reason, only used smash attacks, like, exclusively. And that I did have to retrain out of him specifically. And now he's actually doing pretty well from what I remember. Simon tries to go for a very ambitious offstage presence, and then he has to grab the stage immediately. So the trick to edgeguarding with Simon, or either of the Belmonts actually, is that your whip is long enough you can edgeguard while you're still above the stage. So if your opponent tries to go high, you can just hit them for it. If they go anywhere that is not below the stage, you can still hit them. And if they go below the stage, that's when you start setting up your projectiles, because you have a pretty good ledge trap. As long as you don't use the same special move twice in a row, you can kind of just lock opponents out of trying to get back onto the stage. There's actually a really good spacing where you can throw a holy water or an axe, and they'll both land at just about the ledge. And if you jump through the axe, you get hit. And if you stay at... well, if you stay in place at the holy water, it just kind of covers your get-up option, and then you throw the axe, and then it hits them. That being said, it doesn't work on this stage because actually the sides of the stage are tilted downwards, which is basically the exact wrong trajectory so that the holy water is almost never going to hit it. It's actually really bad for Simon. And Richter, but... Corrin goes high. Simon punishes with a forward air instead of just going for like an up smash. So Simon's whip has a lot of reach. And Corrin went for a jab combo, but the boomerang came back. That's something that anyone who has a boomerang always remembers. The boomerang always comes back. And if you're against it, you have to remember it, because otherwise it will come back to haunt you. Again, Simon trying to hit an opponent above him with a forward or back air in that case. Some characters, it's a little bit harder to tell if it's a forward or a back air. Simon goes for the up special. That's not going to make him back. He does have a pretty quick kill on Corrin if he can land like a smash attack or something. Instead, he tries to go for like an edge trump. So, yep, Simon hit Corrin with a forward tilt. He actually could have not taken the step closer and used the smash attack. Because of the stance change, Simon's forward smash covers just a little bit more ground than the forward tilt. And of course it's a smash attack, so it hits harder. Okay, so Corrin keeps trying to outspace Simon with her smash attack. And it is a long distance smash attack, but Simon has a lot of moves that outreach it. I know this came up during the finals of the tournament where Byleth versus Corrin, Corrin's advantage of usually having longer weapons than the opponent didn't quite apply there. And it doesn't apply here as well. That being said, since Simon isn't a DLC character, he doesn't have as much DLC privilege. Because of course there's people out there who won't buy a character unless they are, you know, high on most people's tier lists. Which is unfortunate. Not able to combo into the boomerang, Simon goes off stage. Very suicidal. Up special actually makes him back to the stage. He avoided Corrin's recovery as well. Throws out a boomerang. He actually was within range of the forward smash there. He wasn't within kill range. Corrin could have thrown out like any move and just killed Simon there. He had used his jump. Now Simon remembers he has an up tilt. Corrin going in at, I was actually going to say, the exact range for Simon to throw an axe at her. But that's actually, I think, the first axe we've seen this game. Simon's off stage, grabs the ledge. Corrin goes for the 3-hit jab instead of the rapid jab. Again, I don't know why. Usually the rapid jab deals just a little bit more damage if you can get all of the hits. It does send opponents at a different angle and stuff though, so it's kind of something you have to consider. Corrin got a great combo starter with that landing neutral air, but then comboed into a taunt. Oh, they got some sort of move collision there. When moves hit at the same time, it can be pretty hard to figure out what's going to happen. Grabs will clash with each other, attacks will clash with each other. If an attack clashes with a grab, then often one opponent gets flinched, the other one gets stunned. Alright, Simon has made it back on stage, but he's actually now farther behind in percent than Corrin is. Corrin gets sent out, goes low. Simon goes suicidally low, gets the edge trump, does nothing with it. That is something in Smash Ultimate. Edge trumps aren't as much of a death sentence. There's a lot more you can do when you've been edge trumped. So gone are the days where you just grab the ledge and then back air the opponent and they die. Oh, Simon actually grabbed the ledge second there. Okay, so Simon seems to know not to get in the way with that. He actually used the aerial holy water there. The main difference being is that the aerial version has a different angle from the grounded version. Simon, you're gonna get... Okay, I thought he was gonna get shield poked with his foot sticking out. So the aerial version of the holy water goes at a different angle, but it basically means if you jump or if you don't jump, it lands in the same spot on flat ground. It's really infuriating. Looks like we've made it to super sudden death. Characters were not able to kill each other. Simon lands the first super sudden death attack. That is gonna defeat Corrin, even if it's at the total extent. Alright, that's it for this episode. Bye.